Investing in unproven technology can cost an awful lot of money. But to take advantage of the e-commerce revolution, companies have to act now. We've asked two experts to predict the future. Joining Clive Caldwell are Nick Jones, an analyst with Jupiter Communications and author of a recent report on the subject, and Simon Duke, research executive with Mori.
Simon, most of your companies that respond to your survey are using more performance and efficiency calculators as benefits, really, for the major technology for the internet. Is this a bit old hat now? Shouldn't we be expecting more from their users of the internet?
I think the productivity and efficiency benefits that they're citing have changed. A few years ago, the internet was mainly used as an information tool for searching and downloading facts on competitors or markets and products. Now it's being used more widely for business applications such as customer service, financial transactions and marketing.
The old Anderson Consulting survey out at the same time was saying that European business was in danger of going down the cul-de-sac, not really being advanced enough in its use of internet technology.
Yeah.
It seems we haven't got too far in the time. We expected companies to be a lot further than they are now in their use of it.
Yeah, I think the infrastructure's now in place for the revolution to take off, the revolution that everyone's been talking about. I think is going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years.
It's going to happen again. What about consumers, Nick? I mean, are they still in the future land, or are they actually using the stuff now?
No, they're using it, and they're buying online as well. So there's actual commitment of money to the medium, as it were.
They're what, buying from home?
Yep, buying from home, researching the price from work, maybe making the purchase decision actually at home. It doesn't matter where they are, as long as they buy.
And use in different countries. We're here to do a bit of crystal ball gazing, aren't we? So you've touched upon consumers' use of the technology in different countries throughout Europe. How does it differ from country to country?
Well, obviously there's different prices of access to the internet, so that obviously has an effect on how much people spend on how much time people spend online. But for example, the Germans are big buyers of air travel.
And?
The book market over there is slightly different from the UK. In Britain, we have a very competitive market. There's no retail price agreements. However, in Germany, the traditional book retailers do have a price agreement, so the new online bookshops maybe have a different market to face up to there.
Also, is that because the technology is more mature in those countries than it is over here?
I think in Germany they've had a longer experience of interacting. The Deutsche Telekom has had an online service, albeit not the internet, but they've been using that, and people have been checking their bank accounts from 23 different banks.
Simon, I mean, what sort of new things are companies going to be doing by using the internet technology as we know it now? They seem to be so slow-moving, as we've said.
Yeah.
What sort of new applications can we look forward to over the next few years?
I think over the next few years it'll be a continuation of the sorts of things I mentioned before. More companies will be using the internet as a marketing tool for financial transactions, and those that are doing it now are going to develop them further.
Are there going to be some cultural problems ahead of us, Nick, with the use of the internet? They say they're going to be dividing, society into the have and have-nots. Is that going to be quite a divisive thing culturally?
I'm not sure. I think country to country there are behavioural differences. The Germans aren't as keen on direct marketing or maybe giving personal information. So companies online will have to maybe work a bit hard to build trust in order to get information from a consumer, and they'll have to reward them with a better product, whether that's by price or features. But things like that will be different. The
UK government has only just got its act together, really publicising what needs to be done for the year 2000. It needs to presumably undergo a major education campaign to educate current users what they can do with their PCs. We must be well ahead but must be behind with all that, surely.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, word of mouth, when people find a bargain online or have a good experience of a company, they do tell their friends. But when you get people like Peter Mandelson turning up at Web Awards, you know it's gone to the mainstream.
Well, it's all sort of PR and good focus these days, isn't it? What about a couple of predictions to finish on from both of you? Simon?
I think the most important thing that companies need to do is to make the data transfer secure, and perhaps more importantly than that, to show customers and potential customers that it is secure, that when they send down credit card details, that there's not going to be fraud involved.
Nick, what about you?
Trust is an issue that brands spend millions building. I think some of the high street brands and more familiar brands won't be around online. They'll have been surpassed by young upstarts who have maybe built that trust early rather than later.
Nick, Simon, thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of this Silicon Report on e-commerce. If you have any comments or you'd like to subscribe to further reports, please email the Silicon team at report@nmtv.net. And don't forget to stay abreast of all the latest technology news by visiting www.silicon.com. That's all for now. See you next time.